weeks ago, I was watching this film with my husband, and it had a theme that really bothers me, that keeps coming up. This older guy was talking about how once he had kids, he could no longer pursue his dreams, and this sort of real social pressure that we have, that there's a huge conflict between having a child or having your dreams and doing the things that you really want to do, and once you have a child it's no longer possible and all that. And I'm just looking at this, and I've been hearing this message all my life, and I said, but wait a minute, what if for some people having a child is the dream, is a big one? There's a YouTuber couple that I saw recently. She's a fantastic YouTuber. She used to be a musician, and he is an actor on Grey's Anatomy. And in one of the videos, she talks about leaving music. And she said that she really wanted to experience being a mom. Like, yeah, good for you. Thank you for saying it. Thank you for it. It's as if it's tabooized. Why? Thank you for saying these things. Why do we always have to be ashamed that we gave up the dream? This is the dream. So yeah, I look at my life, and yeah, I totally tick the list. I did some things that were big dreams, and actually I finished my list when I was 42, which was kind of amazing. There's not a single thing that I wanted to do that didn't at least try. There were, of course, things that came off the list. Like when I was young, I really, really wanted to go skydiving, and I changed my mind about that. I did big things. I moved away from the country I was born in, built life in another place, in another language, with another religion. We're a two-religion household. I changed professions. I did kind of the things that are really big on the list. Of course, I did a lot of things that are small on the list. There are some places I just wanted to go and see. This sentence stuck with me since I was 16. It's Henry Thoreau. He says, so that not when I come to die, I realize that I hadn't lived. That was a big thing he said about a project he did, but I think that works for a lot of things, that I wouldn't want to look back with regret and say, wow, there was this whole chunk of life that I didn't have. One of the things on the list was to be a mom, to have a child, to get married. And I don't know why that's like such a, it's all or nothing kind of black and white. And yeah, I have a job, we both work. It's not easy, but I really like writing fiction, and I'm not going to stop. In fact, I started the big series during maternity leave, and it was something that gave me fulfillment when I was doing it. Yes, not everything is possible immediately, and it's really, really, really hard, but like that's the whole point. If I didn't want to have kids, I'd be off in some third world country with a backpack and flip-flops, and just seeing the world and doing really kind of basic things, and I don't know, sleeping on the beach. But the reason that I'm working so hard is because I want to provide for a child, and I want to be a good wife, and I want to be part of like something that is materially stable in general and be in one place. And it's together. I really resent that message. I grew up in that generation where that message kind of started coming from women who said, oh, we got married young and we gave up all those things that we wanted to do, and now we're miserable, and forget about it, like focus on your career, put it off till later. Having a child does not necessarily make you happy. In fact, it ruins your life, and you're going to be depressed because you gave up everything that you loved. But honestly, I don't feel that way. When he was born, I said to my husband, actually when I was already pregnant, I thought that kids are only borrowed for 10 years. After that, they don't want to play with you anymore. They have their own things. You're no longer interesting. Like, grown-ups become boring. And I don't want to miss a moment. I remember thinking this when he was a baby, how fast he was growing, and that I felt that time was slipping away. And because he would talk in his sleep, I couldn't sleep with him next to me. So I would dream every night. I would have this lucid dream before I was like falling asleep that he was with me, and I would hug him. And I felt like sometimes, oh, I've missed another day because it's ended now somehow, and he's gone to sleep. And there was always like a feeling that time was running too fast. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I always felt that's an adventure too. To take 10 years off in order to know that I've lived fully. I feel we generally get bombarded with a lot of social messages that tell us like what is right and what is wrong and what we should want. And I don't really subscribe to them. I find that I try and it doesn't work. And I think this is one of the big ones. I don't envy anyone for having more children, nor do I think that anyone who decides not to do it is going to envy me in any way, because I think if they're true to themselves, then that's the right decision. It's just that I feel that this kind of black and white thing, yes, okay, there's certain jobs that really don't work with it well, but there's also in today's world so much flexibility and so many different avenues to do the thing. Even in my profession, I'm a self-published author. There's people who do it one way, there's people who do it another way. Some people just have a chill. Like one of my favorite authors, she just writes a book, writes a newsletter, does a couple of ads, writes the next book. I'm like, yeah. When I recorded this video, I kind of had a lot of ideas in my head and they came up slightly messy. I also didn't sleep that well last night. I got out of my burnout and I took a week off and I went hiking and I did a run across the bridges and it was beautiful. I got amazingly good weather and then the next day I crashed. So yeah, I'm kind of coming out of that, but I said, oh, I'm going to make this video anyhow. So I hope you enjoy it. That's it for today. In my next video, I'm going to speak a bit more about one of the things that's been getting to me a lot. In fact, last night I was beginning to tear down a little bit again. I'm a pacifist, and I think I want to tell you the story of how I became a pacifist. I think my stress is obvious, so I'm not going to get into such detail. But yeah, that's for the next video. So I love you and bye.